Hello everyone, this will be a quick review on the chapter genetics. Okay, so I have just downloaded this particular diagram from the web and let's get into it. Okay, I've already marked here. You can see this blue color structure. These are our chromosomes. Okay, these chromosomes are very tightly coiled. You can see they've just opened around, and these are the coils. Okay, as these coils open up, you can see here this structure. These are the histones. You can see this blue colored thing, that thread like thing that is being wrapped around some yellow color balls, and there are some pink color, or you can say orange colored things. Okay, so what are these things? These green colors, as you can see, as they've been written histones, these are proteins. Okay, which type of proteins? These are histone proteins. There are almost five types of histone proteins. Okay, they are named as H1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, this is the core. This one, this two, this three, these are all coarse proteins. Okay, and this particular one which has been just linking these things, they are the linker. Okay, linker. So this core protein, this histone core, it's being made up of histone core. Histone core is constitution of H2A, H2B, H3, and H4. Okay, these 1, 2, 3, 4, these four histone proteins, they remains in a dimer form, means they all are in duplex, 2 in numbers. Okay, like H2A in 2, H2B in 2, H3 is also 2 in number, and H4 is also 2 in number, so it total makes 8. So this code is called as histone octamer. What? Histone octamer. Okay, just avoid this very bad handwriting due to cursor, it's happening like that. Okay, so this histone proteins, this histone octamer, it makes this core protein, and this linker, this particular linker, it is being made up of H1 and H5. Okay, so these blue like things is being wrapped around this core and this linker. As it's again opened up, you can see this blue like thing is our DNA. So you all have the idea what is DNA. DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay, so these are nucleic acids which has been wrapped around, and you can see here something has mentioned as genes. Okay, genes. So this particular portion, 1, 2, 3, 4, this particular portion is a gene. Okay, so many of you have the doubts that what is the difference between DNA and gene. Okay, so gene is nothing but a portion of a DNA. It is a segment of DNA which can produce a particular protein, which can synthesize a protein. Okay, so gene is synthesized protein which is a part of the DNA. Okay, and what are these strands? These are the nucleic nitrogen bases. Okay, these are the nitrogen bases. What are the nitrogen bases? Adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine. Sorry, thymine, you all know that. So these are the nitrogen bases. Okay, so gene is a part of DNA which can synthesize a protein. Now what is DNA? DNA are deoxyribonucleic acid, which you all know that which is the carrier of our genetic material. So the genetic material is the gene. Okay, so chromosome is being, let's come from the top. Genes, they are tightly packed inside the DNA, and the DNA are being wrapped around the histones. Histones are what? Histones are histone proteins. There are five types of histones. One, two, for histone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 is being divided into H2A and H2B. Okay, so these histones again tightly packed around, and they make our this structure, X-like structure, or you can say that chromosomes. There are two types of chromosomes inside our body. One is known as autosomes and the other one is allosomes. Okay, autosomes are how many in number? Autosomes are 44, or you can say 22 pairs, and allosomes, they are 2 or 1 pair. So how many pairs are there? Total 23 pairs. Okay, so 23 pairs of chromosomes are inside our body. Now let's come into this. So many of you have the doubts why it's X and why it's Y. Okay, so here you can see this XX, you can see the structure quite long. Okay, when this XX same chromosome, when they stay together, they brings the phenotype, the characteristics of the female. Okay, and when this X stays with Y, you can see the very small structure of the Y. You can see it is almost half, not half actually, less than half of the shape of the X chromosome. Okay, so this Y is very less in size of the X chromosome comparing with the X chromosome, but it have the genetic material, the genes inside it, which can produce proteins that can bring out the male characteristics or the male sexual organs and the development. Okay, so that is the main difference. X, in case of female, this X, when it stays with another X, is a homozygous. Okay, what is homozygous and what is heterozygous? It's an excellent example of homozygosity and heterozygosity. Homo means same. So see, this one chromosome, it stays with this another X, so they are same. They are same. That's why they are homozygous. And you can see they are different. X is totally different from Y and Y is totally different from X. So they are not same. So these are heterozygous. Okay. So this particular genes, this Y gene, it brings out some proteins, as you can see I have written here. Genes, they produces proteins. Okay. So this Y chromosome, they have genes. Those genes can produces the proteins which can develop our male characteristics and male specified sex organs. Okay, now one more thing, what is phenotype and what is genotype? See, these are all downloaded pictures. Okay, this is a phenotype. They have said BB, capital B, capital B, capital B, small b, and small b, small b. So you can see this capital B, if the gene is like that, you can also go here. Look, they are XX. So the genes, the chromosomes are XX. That is inside the body. Okay. But what is the outcome? We can see that that person is a female. It's not a male. If the outcome or the characteristics are male, so we can say that the genes are male specific genes. So the chromosomes are male specific XY. So whatever the genotypes, it is inside, but phenotype that we can see from outside. Okay. So this BB, capital BB, it will give a purple color of flower. Capital B, small b, it also will give a that purple color of flower, which is more abundant. Okay, and the small b, it will give a white flower. Now one thing more, allele is very nicely described. What are alleles? Allele means two genes that remains that situated in the same locus of the homozygous chromosomes. Homozygous means look, they are just together, almost look same. Suppose there is a gene. Let me just mark out. Suppose here is a gene. Here is the location. This is the locus of a gene. Suppose X, not X. Suppose it's a P gene. So on the same this chromosome, there will be small P gene. Small p gene. Suppose this p gene will give you, suppose blue color eye, sorry, black color eye. Okay, black eye, and this gene will give you blue color eye, blue eye. So you can see, as in our population, most of the people have black colored eye. So this black colored eye will be abundant enough. So when they are in homozygous condition, this capital B, which is abundant enough, it will show its character over this blue eye color. So the person tend to be have blue colored eye, sorry, black colored eye, not the blue colored eye. Okay, but sometimes it happens that the gene which was in the recessive condition, that means which has been not expressed in the earlier stage, that can express in another time in the generation. Okay, and someone can have blue colored eye. So you can see allele, they are the two chromosomes. Look the location, allele for purple color flower, and this allele for white color flower. Locus for flower color gene. So what is the work of this gene, these two genes? To bring out the color of the flower. Okay, so the function of the allele is to bring out the color. If this particular gene is being expressed, the flower will be purple colored. If this gene will be expressed, it will give you white color. Very easy. Okay, now comes this very interesting thing, the monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross. Monohybrid cross is what? Monohybrid cross refers to a cross between parental stocks having only one pair of contrasting characters or only one pair of allele. Means here we are taking just one character, just one single character. And what is dihybrid? Here we have taken two characters. Dihybrid cross refers to a cross involving parental stocks having two pairs of contrasting characters or two pairs of alleles. Okay, simple, two pairs. One pair it is monohybrid, two pair it is dihybrid. Okay, so let's get into it. This is a cross. Look, tall plant. Which plant? Pea plant. You all know Mendel's all those uh, tests, monohybrid and dihybrid test. So tall plant, it have a gene like TT, and dwarf plant means it is not tall, it is short, it have a gene like small t, small t. So capital T will produce a gamete, and small t will produce a gamete small t. So capital T small t will come together and they will make capital T and small t. In the self-crossed, in the next generation, if you take one plant which will have genes like capital T and small t, and another one with capital T and small t, they will produce something like that. So capital T small t, what is it? Let's get into this. F2 and F1 and P1. What is P1? It is parental one, because in the first case these two are the parent plants, that's why it's a parental one. This is the production of this parental, we call it as F1 or filial one or first filial generation or first generation. And this second one it is F2. Means look, now I can say that these two are parental 2 or second parental. These are P2. They have been crossed and it comes as F2. This is a checkered board. Look, the gametes are different. I have just differentiated them. T small t, capital T small t. Now they've been crossed. This T, this T has been crossed with this T and again with this T. So this TT will make capital T and they has made capital T small t. You can see then small t, capital T small t, small t, small t. So these are the genotypes, these are the genetic pattern, gene patterns. Now what are the outcome? How they will look? You can see capital T, they will bring tall phenotype. The plant will be tall. Capital T small t, it will also be tall. Now what is the difference between them? This is pure. Look, both capital T and capital T are there. That means they are pure. And here capital T and small t. So one new thing has came with capital T. That's mean it's being hybrid. It's not pure. And small t you can also say that it is a dwarf as it was in the parental case. This is a dwarf plant. So pure dwarf. Now if the ratio comes, phenotypic ratio means how they looks. So if you go by the looks, you can just simply say, okay, there is tall and there is dwarf. By outside, you cannot say whether it is a hybrid or it's a pure. Okay, by the expression, phenotype means the showing that character which you can show, which is observable characters. This is the phenotype. So phenotypic ratio of F2 is tall is to dwarf, because only these two are available. So 3 is to 1, tall 1, tall 2, tall 3, and how many dwarf are there? Only one, so 3 is to 1. Now if genotype ratio looks, they all different. TT is different, capital T small t is different, small t is also different. So you can see pure tall, capital T, capital T, and small t. Look, all the genes are different. The pair of genes are different. So capital T, how many are there? Only one. So one. Hybrid tall, how many? Two. Capital T, small t, two, and pure dwarf only one. So this is the genotypic ratio of monohybrid cross. Okay, I hope it will make sense. One again, one quick review. Phenotype is the observable character which we can observe from the outside, and genotype is the structure or the presence of the genes inside the organism, which can be variable. Okay. Now come to the dihybrid cross. Look what we have taken. We have taken two characters. Dihybrid means two characters. We have taken two pea plants to different characters. One is that yellow and round seeds. Yellow, yellow is the character of what? Very easy. Let me just write it here. Yellow means it brings the color of, and round is the shape. So we have taken two character of the seeds. One is the shape, another one is the color. So one is that YYRR. Why I have mentioned them as capital? Because they are more dominant. If you make a cross, or if you make a population of pea plants, most of the cases they will produce yellow colored seeds with a round shape. Okay, that's why they are dominant, which is much more available in that population. And green and wrinkle seed, they are just smaller, means there are one allele which will give the color of the seed. Okay, that allele is, I have marked it as Y. If it gives you yellow color, which is more abundant, dominant, it is capital Y. On the other chromosome, it is small y, which is responsible for green color. And round seeds, capital R is for round, and wrinkle just the opposite, smaller. Okay. So gametes, here two gametes will come. Just a quick comparison. You can see here one gamete has came, here two gametes has came, because it is dihybrid. That's why two gametes are coming. Now YYRR, it makes Y, the two comes and merge together, YYRR. Here comes that law of Mendel. Okay, Mendel has said that law of independent assortment means the gametes can assort independently. Okay, so you can see this capital Y, it's one time it is coming with capital R, in another case the capital Y comes with smaller, again the small y comes with capital R, and again the small y comes with smaller. So they are independent, they are not blocked, they can go and they can merge with anyone they want. Okay, so it was that Mendel's law of inheritance, the third law. Okay, now you can see in P2 there is YR. You can also say Y capital R, capital Y small r, capital Y capital small y capital R, and small y small r. Okay, now just one thing more, as I have mentioned that Mendel's law, the first law was law of dominance. So here you can see that in this cross, which one is dominant? The tall one. Because if you go for the phenotypic ratio, you can see the tall, this capital T will come in much more proportion in the phenotypic ratio. Okay, so it states the law of dominance. The dominant one will express and the recessive one will not express itself. Okay, that's it. Then comes law of segregation. What law of segregation say? The two members of a pair of factors, or you can say the alleles, separate during the formation of gametes. During the formation of gametes, they do not blend but segregate or separate into different gametes. The gametes combine together by random fusion at the time of zygote formation. So what is that? Simply segregation. You look, this is that these are two gametes, YR and small y and smaller. So when they are separating from their parents, they are not blending. They are not blending. They are just separate. Y r is separate from small r is separate from capital Y capital R. And as law of independent assortment said, it can be only observable in the dihybrid cross. Look, they are separating independently. Okay, so f2, what happened? Y r, these are the four types of gametes they are forming the p2. You can see here. So y r, simply I have just put them in this corner in this checkered board. It's quite difficult one. So this, as like the earlier one, this YR will go this one, and just like the mathematics rules, they'll just be multiplied. Okay, I don't want to make it dirty, so that's how it just makes it. Okay, 16 options will come, 16 hybrids will come. Phenotypic ratio, four types of phenotypes will be available there: yellow round seeds, yellow wrinkled seed, green round seed, green wrinkled seed. Okay, at the first, just to tell you, what are the parents? Yellow and either yellow and round, or green and wrinkled. Okay, these are the two parents. Now as the result comes out, what it brings: yellow round seed, it was more yellow and round dominant one. Yellow and wrinkled, green and round seed, and green and wrinkled, these are the parentals. Okay, just let me mark it for you. These are the parentals. Out of these 16s, this 10, 9 plus 1, 9, and 1 makes 10. So this 10 individuals phenotype is like the parental one. Same, green and wrinkled seeds, green and wrinkled seed, yellow and round seeds, yellow and round seeds. Now these two are the new individuals, yellow wrinkled and green round seeds. Means the genes that are inside that chromosome of the parents, they interchanged. Okay, and they bring some new color, new characters, new coloring, new shape of the seed, and new characters. Okay, so that's it. 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1, the phenotypic ratio of dihybrid cross. You have to keep in that mind. Okay, you have to keep remembering it. The phenotypic ratio of the F2 generation in dihybrid cross, and phenotypic and genotypic ratio of monohybrid cross. The genotypic ratio of dihybrid cross is not in your syllabus, so I'm not discussing about it. Okay, I hope it will help you. If anything more you want, do tell me in the comment box. Okay, bye bye, take care, see you in the next session.